Before anyone asks why I have a picture of a black man behind me, it's not a black man. It looks like me doing blackface. It's not me doing blackface. It's Jimmy Kimmel being Karl Malone years ago. But a buddy of mine found this photo, sent it to me, and said, "When did you do blackface?" And I had to sit there for a minute and think about, I used to drink a lot. And did I do this and then weirdly rent a scoreboard? It's not me. We'll get into it in a minute. Welcome to POS. Frank, take it away.
Thanks, Pat. Welcome to the Pat Oates Show, the POS show. I am so thrilled, so excited. I'm over the moon about the guests we have tonight. It's amazing. Joining Pat is his co-host, Bobby Tamburo. And our special guest tonight is people that I met when I first went into comedy 6 years ago. I met Andrew at an open mic in Bridgeport. He was this young little teeny bopper. And look at him now.
What are we doing?
Let's welcome Andrew Manning and my first superstar that I met at Foxwoods 6 years ago, Mr. Marty Caproni.
I had to look behind me. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You said superstar.
And you met Mike Brauth. What do you mean? That's the first superstar you met. Him. That's fine. I like when Frank has an idea in his head and you can tell he can't form it. So he just starts going into this thing where he's building up until he can get the words out. But I like that you called him, what was it? That wasn't handsome. What did you call Andrew?
I think you said delectable.
It was something creepy.
Did I say that? That's possible.
When you met him. Oh, Frank, that was at least he didn't get it wrong. He was very excited because every week I'll send him intros and he doesn't know who they are, so they fucks it up bad. I was like, you know these two. You should be okay. Yeah. Frank's what you're not 80 yet, but you're close.
79.
Well, that's the closest you can be. I meant like
you can't get any closer without stepping on it.
Oh, imagine if you died the day before.
Well, you never know. That's right.
That sucks. Frank, I should share this. I told Bobby, and I was just telling Andrew, I was walking to work today, and I was listening to some song, and I don't know why, but it made a thought in my head go, man, if Frank dies, we could make the best montage for the podcast. And that's all I thought about. Yeah, I will miss you, but I was thinking about we could cut every intro he did and go, I'll take it, Frank, and he'll just do it in every intro you ever did, and then a moment of silence. Like, we get so many views. That'd be awesome. So, and then maybe we'll do that if we need views. We won't really have you die. We'll just not have you make it to a show. Be like, just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah. Put a tweet out.
It's only wish about the views.
If you guys want a good bit, what you should do is have Frank read his own eulogy and have him mess up his own eulogy, and then you'll have it in the can.
It won't be a bit. I think Frank does that every day. That's his new cup of coffee. And then yells at his father-in-law is 102, and they go, "You're gonna read it wrong."
Frank, is your father-in-law really alive and 102?
He's 102.
I like in that order.
I mean, yes, and he's still alive. And I mean, tonight was a challenge getting him to bed. And
what the fuck are you talking about? How is it a challenge to put a 102-year-old out?
Andrew, it's hard. You got to feed him a drink. You got to get lube.
Oh, you got to get him loopy.
I thought you were fucking him. My bad.
Wow.
No, I told him tonight. I said tomorrow morning we're taking a shower. It's been 10 days.
Don't you think that planning to the morning with a 102-year-old is a little bit too much planning ahead?
No, I was reminding myself.
Oh, okay.
It's like when you're a parent and you tell your little kids that in the summer you're going to Disney, like they're excited for so long, but it's just morning for Sam. He's just like, ooh, I can't. Is that real? It's going to be great.
It's like convincing him it's nighttime, number one. Number two, telling him that it's 10 days since you had a shower. He yells out, I don't care if it's 40 days. I'm not taking a shower.
How old is he, Frank?
Like
102.
102. I'm just doing some quick math. He has woken up 37,230 mornings.
That's amazing. Like, that sounds insane. Like, that's not a real thing.
Right.
He did that. And he's been through everything. He's seen every invention ever, I think.
Yeah.
What's his take on 2020? How's he feel about it in 2021?
He's,
like Auschwitz was better.
He's like, this is shit compared to smallpox, you loser. Let me tell you about the Indians.
Well, he keeps on reminding me that does not really remember the Spanish flu, but his parents kept on reminding him that he survived the Spanish flu, and
Wow.
when he was 5 years old, they reminded him.
Well, I'm pretty sure at 102, his life didn't change with being inside.
Yeah.
It's like, and making sure people that were sick stayed away from. I think that's basically 102.
I've been doing that to old people for years.
Yeah, and he's like, I've always hated the Chinese. This is fine.
People social distance just because of the diaper smell,
And now he won't shower for, what is it, Frank? 10. And I think Frank's counting on a calendar. Day 9, no shower. Day 10.
So he's
No,
102.
He's 102.
How old is he,
Still
Frank?
goes 102. Still doesn't go. He still goes to the bathroom by himself.
Yeah, good for him.
That
He's
is
still better than my
amazing.
dad.
I
When
mean,
are you going to make him stop doing that?
When are you going to neuter him? That's the real
I
question.
hide his underwear.
Why?
Frank, do you realize if he takes 3 shits a day, that means he's about to shit for his 111,690th time?
Marty math is my new favorite thing.
Marty, I could only wish it was 3 times a day. I mean, we're talking double digit, counting.
Oh my God.
Oh, I thought it was going to be less.
No, double digit.
It's not shit though, right? It's just like Play-Doh out of that when you push it.
Sometimes I take a peek, and it is. I mean, he's definitely doing
What are you
that.
feeding them?
Why do you take a peek?
I want to make sure he wiped.
Oh, at his asshole? I thought you meant the paper. You're peeking at his hole?
That's so much
Yeah.
worse.
No, not at the toilet. I go,
Oh,
look down.
toilet paper.
Is he still standing there?
yeah.
I would think that
He
at
doesn't
that
know
point,
what I'm doing.
He does.
I would think at that point it doesn't even look like poop. It just looks like the dust
No.
when you empty your vacuum cleaner.
No,
Just like-
No, he looks.
There's a nickel and a screw.
He's 102. He's extremely
Stop
healthy.
saying his age. We know.
I mean, he takes 1 pill a day. I take 8.
Cyanide.
No. Yeah. Secret to
Not
I'm
home.
going before him. I know that.
Yeah, you are going to die. Can he read?
Yeah.
Good. He can replace you when this fucking when you die. All right.
Frank, he's really. You should go like how parents of their young kids do. He's not 102. He's 1,224 months old.
I
Best
love
part is,
the,
this isn't Frank's father. This is Frank's father-in-law.
yeah.
So it's like he's taking care of him like he's a stepdad. This is not dad raising a baby.
That's right.
This is him showing off someone else's baby. He's
Well,
wiping
I
someone
mean-
else's kid's ass.
I
You
know
must
him
really
over
like
50 years. I know him over 50 years. He supported everything I have done.
All right, you got it.
I mean, he doesn't have a bad bone in his body. I mean,
Probably doesn't have a bone in his body.
They can't be good bones.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, at one time, they were good gut bones.
I mean, even if you hated him, you just push him down the stairs. He's gonna go down like a slinky and just be fine when he gets to the bottom.
He'll just come to the bottom and go, "When are you gonna check my butt to see what's coming out?"
I actually talked to Frank in advance, and I have one of his father-in-law's bones right here.
Ooh,
there you
no, bones. Oh God, that's great. It's weird though, Frank. We've talked about this before, but your whole life you avoided having children. And at
Right.
almost 80, you're taking care of one right now.
My mother always told me, you spit up, it comes down on you. Purposely didn't have any kids. They want to deal with them. They want to take care of their crap. And what happens? 2 years ago, I was given this great opportunity to take care of a 100-year-old man. And in a couple of months, we're going to celebrate his 103rd birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like to think that's not
easy.
where the story ends. I like to think you're like Abraham. You're about to start a whole lineage of people. Clearly, your wife comes from good blood. She's still fertile, Frank.
We're going to have a cult.
Frank has a baby now. That'd be the best.
Yeah. How great would that be?
What did your mom say to you?
If you spit up, it comes down on you.
What was she talking about?
She was talking about if you make fun of somebody, it will happen to you.
Oh, okay.
If you do something to a person, it will come back at you and haunt you the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah, but it's not. You're doing it to yourself.
And then she would do this.
Was she doing something else? I don't know.
I have
Are
no
you
idea.
sure? Are you sure she was trying not to tell you to not ejaculate in any women? You sure
I
that's
thought
not?
that's where it was going. Like
Yeah.
literally when he said that, I'm like, she always said, just don't come where you eat or something.
Right, right.
If you're gonna spit at the universe, make sure you have a rubber.
Yeah, when life gives you lemons, make sure you stab them with a hanger. You know what I mean? Like the old saying. It's like- but good, Frank. In 3 months, I hope he makes it.
So do I.
Why? Because we have something to talk about at the beginning of every show.
Yeah, I mean 103. That's major.
See, Andrew, you're not paying attention to
Yeah,
Frank.
102 ain't
You're not paying
shit.
attention to his Instagram. But if you do, his Facebook, all that, he puts up pictures of Sam like it is his child. Like he takes him the pizza and he puts him in the car and he holds him up. He puts a gold star on the fridge. Like it really is his child.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to connect, but have you guys seen the Harry Potter movies?
Yes.
Do you remember when the rat guy dumps Voldemort into that bowl of soup? That's what I imagine it's like for Frank to like put his father-in-law in a car. It's just this man like a shaved monkey.
I'm not sure what my upstairs neighbor is currently doing this last week, but there's always a different woman's voice in Harry Potter music on. So I'm not sure what's, but it's just here. Dun, 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 and it's just like, hee, hee. I'm like, either he's running an illegal daycare or I don't know, or he's putting his wand somewhere. I'm not sure what's happening.
I've never seen one Harry Potter movie.
They're
so
good,
I don't know
man. I'm not gonna lie. They're very good.
I don't think I've seen a full Star Wars movie either.
Wow.
They're not that good.
Yeah, I'm like
I've watched them all. They're not that. I don't get the whole thing.
I'm like the anti Andrew Manning. You know.
I spend my days watching Star Wars and Harry Potter simultaneously, one shot.
Oh, I thought you meant because you like black people. I'm sorry. It's like, you gotta switch up. Speaking of black people, I don't want to make it the first story, but
that is pretty close.
it looks more like me than it does Jimmy Kimmel.
It does.
Look at it.
Easily.
And this is from years ago. And like I said, a buddy of mine sent me the picture and said, "Did you do this?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't." And then he goes, "Here's what it is." And this was the same day that when Coca-Cola started getting a lot of crap for their new training about to be less white. So someone else made an ad where they put this picture on Coca-Cola's logo saying "Be less white."
Oh, geez.
So that started coming up. So I put this up there thinking, oh, a couple things on Twitter, 200 likes and like 30, 40 retweets later, and a bunch of ats at Jimmy Kimmel getting real mad at him. 2 or 3 people were mad at me because I was doing blackface. I'm like, you're really not getting this, which is fine. But when I just blocked them and it's good. Because like if I was doing blackface, everyone knows me. This would have been a bit on my first album. I wouldn't have waited. You know what I mean?
I think you would have went darker with the makeup, really, knowing you. You would have fully committed.
Oh, yeah, and I wouldn't play basketball. I'd be in a field with like a cotton gin. I would have gone for it. You know what I mean? And I would have had one of the numbers spelt wrong or like a Z. I don't know. I would have made it real bad. Like it wasn't even good. But it was one of these things like, I put it out there and some people try to make jokes with it. And then you can watch the world get so sensitive. Some people were laughing, whatever. Someone said, I'm very upset with you, Pat. I think you're a funny guy. And I'm like, oh, where's this going? And he's a funnier guy too. So he paused and went, "You're taking away so many jobs from other blackface teens that want to play basketball and do it." And then other people were like, "Yeah, it's fucked up. You're taking their job." I'm like, that's not a job, blackface teen. There's no young Al Jolson waiting to come up. How are you mad? Are you fake mad at this? So I was like, listen, I didn't just do this. On the bottom, you can't see it, but I taped an extra ligament to my leg. So then someone else was like, whoa, deep cut. And I was like, if we're going to have fun with it, have fun with it. Now, I don't know why I got blocked by Jimmy Kimmel. Maybe it's because it probably isn't about me. I didn't send him. I didn't at him. Maybe he thought I was attacking him. I was just saying that he's not doing blackface. In Jimmy's defense, he was doing me doing blackface, which is actually helping him out and ruining my career before I had one. Am I a piece of shit for when I got sent this, sending it out to people, putting on Twitter and having fun with it in a time when you're not supposed to do this? Is Jimmy Kimmel a piece of shit because he blocked? Not for doing blackface. Listen, I'm not defending it, but this was a long time ago. I am not a fan of digging back in people's past. You let people grow in who they are. If he's doing it today, yeah, you're an idiot. This was a skit. He wasn't at home with his friends. It wasn't like him just chilling out. He was doing a thing for the Man Show. That's how long ago this was. It was Karl Malone when he was playing. Okay, you shouldn't have done it, but it's something that's been done. But the part about blocking me or getting upset about it is that my buddy Dion for even sending this to me, knowing I would share it and ruin myself by doing it. I can't hold on to that fucking thing. Or is it someone else? Who's a piece of shit? Bobby, go first.
I'm not a big fan of digging up people's past. Am I a piece of shit for putting out this picture of Jimmy Kimmel from The Man Show? That does it for me, Pat. You're the piece of shit.
I didn't put it out. I'm saying it's me. I was trying to become relevant.
Play that chess game out a little bit. You put it out, you say it's you, people go, is that you in blackface? What happens next?
I get on Kumia finally. All right.
It'd be funny if he saw that, thought it was you, and then just blocked you.
Who? Jimmy Kimmel?
Anthony Cumia.
No, I'm on tomorrow. Oh. Well, I was going to be on anyway. I know we're going to discuss it. So it's like...
Anthony wouldn't say anything. Anthony would probably pull his gun out and say a whole bunch of racist shit to Pat if that what he saw.
Hey, Bobby, how's that feel with it? Bobby works for Compound. It works for that. That's why.
Oh. Well,
that's why I said no. But I'm on there all the time, and it's great. But I actually told the guys, let's discuss this. I want to see if we can sue Jimmy. He's ruining my career.
Well, listen, I got to be honest. I understand why he blocked you. Why Jimmy blocked you.
I didn't do it. Why is he blocking me?
But he blocked you because clearly he doesn't want that picture making its way into circulation again. So if it's attached to his tweets anyway, he's fucked. So it's just,
look how
what do I do?
Wonderfully he's posing. Look how happy he is then. He loves it. He's swimming in blackface. He's like a young Trudeau. He loves it.
It's really a good blackface, though.
It's
like
great.
it really is like a good makeup job.
He looks Dominican black, not even like African American black. Like it's a good young Sosa black.
Does not look like Karl Malone, though.
Not at all. Not even close. Like that's That's the most racist part.
Yeah, like that's what bothers me.
It's a black guy. I'll just say I'm Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other piece of shit, the 4 people who wrote it's Karl Malone but spelt it with a C. All right, assholes. It's not spelled with a C. It's Carl with a K. At least you're gonna do it. Say it right. And I wrote back. I said, you writing with a C is like calling Kunta Kinte Toby. It's wrong. And then like 2 of them got it. I think the rest had to Google it. So Marty, who do you think the piece of shit is?
Oh man, Pat, I hate to say it. I think you're kind of the piece of shit in this because if I'm Jimmy Kimmel, I did that shit 25 years ago. I don't want it up and about. Now, I'll tell you who the real piece of shit is. It's beyond you. It's whoever dug that video clip out, because the Man Show was on back before TiVo or DVR. That was on in the days of fucking videotapes. So someone had to dig out a videotape, digitize it, put it onto their computer, and then upload it to the internet. That person is really the piece of shit.
Yeah, that came out at the same time when they dug out Fallon's. They were digging all their stuff out. No, it didn't hurt Kimmel. He's still on TV, and he's fine. So I think he really survived that one real well. Like, all the late night talk show people can do blackface and still be fine.
But also, Jimmy's kind of an ass. See, this is how I know. Now, as they talk it out, everyone's an asshole. Jimmy Kimmel's kind of an asshole too, because he's one of the first guys who's on there like virtue signaling all the time about shit, and it's like, come on, bro. Come on, you're gonna.
That's why I'm shocked I'm blocked, because of the way he is. You'd think he'd go, all right, whatever. I'm not attacked. It's not like I've got my blue check or I'm doing something. I've got 2,000 followers. It's not hurting him. Whatever. You can mute me. I didn't ever write at him. Block the other assholes. Don't fuck me over. I'll make me look bad. You look like me. I'm mad that when you're black, you're me. What the fuck is that? He doesn't have a
Do you think he runs his Twitter though?
What?
Do you think he actually runs his own Twitter at this point?
At this point, he's so lonely doing those horrible monologues at home. Yeah, that he's fucking running his Twitter.
A lot of those guys have a service actually that it doesn't just block you, but it'll block anyone that you're associated with.
What if it's run by Karl Malone? He's not doing anything right now. Now he's the email man, and he's just checking everything out.
He's still delivering. He's still delivering them blocks. Still handling blocks.
Andrew, tell me that I'm the piece of shit or somebody else.
Man, I just had this image in my head of Jimmy Kimmel alone at home doing these shitty monologues and hating it. And then like he turns around to his wardrobe and opens it up and it's the Karl Malone blackface character suit. I could put on my super suit. It'd be funny.
Honey, where's my blackface suit?
Yes. He's literally calling to his Frozone wife. I don't know, man. I think Jimmy Kimmel is pretty easy to call the asshole in this because he is wearing blackface the entire time I've been hearing this story directly behind you. Also, I noticed the time on the back says, just thank God it doesn't say 8:46. So this could have been a whole nother kind of
Imagine if he had like a premonition to do. That'd be great.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, whoever blocked you, I mean, yeah, that's kind of an asshole move, but like, what are you missing out on now that you can't see Jimmy Kimmel's like assistant's tweet ideas? You know, so this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the people that tagged him in it and brought his attention to it.
Yeah, fuck that. Thank you, Andrew.
So that's Pat. Okay.
Yeah, it's me. I have 5 accounts.
We're back to Pat.
It's all me. This didn't actually happen. That's me.
Your fans.
Pat dug out the video. Pat. Yeah.
Frank.
This is an easy one. And not for the reason you're going to think. The piece of shit is Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm going to tell you why. He has double standards, and he just proved it. 5 years ago, he came out with clothes for, you got to have clothes for naked animals. You have to put pants on a horse or they're rude. He went on TV shows pitching this with a cutout of, he brought a live horse onto one show with Bermuda shorts on. He ripped off Alan Abel, who did it from the 56 to 73. That was his thing. Yeah. He got national attention. Everybody knew about it. He saw it. He put it in the back of his mind. He thought Alan was dead. Alan sued him to stop, and he never stopped. And so without saying anything further, the piece of shit is Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, he stole a bit. And then Al Jolson used to do blackface, and he stole a bit.
And now he's telling you that you stole a bit.
Well, he didn't talk to me.
You,
Jimmy easy Kimmel. What he's telling me. He didn't talk to me. He's just
yeah, hey, can someone calm Frank down? He's like 80 years old. We don't want to have him drop dead during the podcast.
Wait till he tells his story, Marty. He's got more energy than all of us in this day. He's chugging cocaine in a cup. All right. He did good there. The piece of shit is my friend Dion. I don't know how you're all missing this. Dion knows me better than anybody. He knows that if you send me something like that, I can't resist. He gave a heroin addict heroin. Okay. You don't give that. Don't let me know that exists. I didn't know. I watched a man show years ago, but never put 2 and 2 together. I didn't think, like you said, it's so long ago. I didn't know about it. I never knew it looked like me. All of a sudden, I'm sitting at home alone. He sends me this. I'm like, oh, I haven't been on Twitter all day. I'll just put this up there. Yeah. And because I go on Compound a lot, I have a lot of Compound fans. They love blackface. So I put that out there and they're like, this is great. They get fired up. They put it out there. It starts spreading around. If he didn't send this to me like an asshole, because he was laughing going, I'll just put it up. I'm like, no, you only have like 10 followers. You can't do that. I need to, like, because my fucking stupid social media addiction got kicked in. So him knowing that he was going to fuck me over, it's him, not Kimmel, not me, not anybody. That asshole for knowing I couldn't resist sharing my own fake blackface.
Wait till I send Pat the early Jimmy Fallon tapes of him fucking little kids.
If it looks like me, it's
you're just gonna hold. You're gonna hold those pictures, sweating like, should I not do this?
If he has a beard and glasses on, I'll share it. Look at Jimmy. Look at Jimmy plowing this kid, looking like me.
Pat's like, why can't I get a late night spot? It's like, well, on your podcast, you insulted every late show host.
No way, Steve. No way, Seth Meyers, you're my man. Frank's like, 40 years ago, Alan Abel fucked a kid before anyone else did. Going around stealing kid fucking jokes. Frank, since you're fired up, we don't usually do this. Let's go to your story right now.
Are you going to give the typical warnings, Pat?
I did that to him earlier. I've been told by some of the viewers I don't need to keep telling the audience that these guys can figure it out. They're tired of being told the warnings. You know what? So fuck you, viewers. Frank, he mentioned Alan Abel. I don't know if you guys know about this. Frank did pranks and scams and hoaxes and all that for years and years and years, and did it under the tutelage of Alan Abel, who was like the first guy to do this. This is before, not now, Practical Joke, where you reveal things and make it fun. They would do pranks and scams and hoaxes to help people promote things, but when some people died not knowing they were ever scammed or hoaxed. It was just something they did. They did an incredible thing. Frank's been shares stories every week. Been thrown out of the Super Bowl. Been arrested. Pretended to be a sheik. All these crazy things. So he's going to tell a story today about that stuff. But Frank talks like Frank talks. So it takes a long time. Not a test at the end. Listen to what you can listen to. If you tune out for a little bit, don't worry. We'll recap the best we can. And
should I get a glass of water before he starts?
Guys, you want to go hit the head, get a glass of water or whatever? Why don't you guys do it now while I warm up?
Oh, he's really going to get the drink like he was worried about that. If he comes back in blackface, this will be the best episode of all times.
What does he know?
I'm thirsty.
There he is. Okay.
I'm ready to settle in.
You said if you
Okay,
came
now
back
we're
in
all set.
blackface, that'd be awesome, Mark. Hello.
There's 3 people in the audience that have not. Okay, they're back.
All
right,
I'll
so
do the
I'm
jokes. You
gonna
tell the
tell-
story. Frank, go.
All right, what I'm going to. This to me was the best hoax prank that Alan Abel ever did, and I thought it was a masterpiece. What he did.
Went around with pants for animals. He went around all the shows.
No, this is better than that. This is better than that. He
You
wanted
guys
to
know the mailman? He dressed up as the mailman.
All right, he decided that he wanted to find out what people would think if he died. And so what's the easiest way to do it is to dupe the New York Times. He sent somebody in there on a Saturday late afternoon, some woman crying, an actress saying that, oh my God, Alan Abel just died in a skiing accident in Utah. And she takes out all these clippings about him and gives it to the Times, and they said, oh my God, I can't believe it. And she walks out. In there is the name of the funeral parlor in Utah that has Alan Abel's body. And what it is, it's somebody that Alan knows in Utah. And we just put down his telephone number. And so the New York Times, the obit guy, calls up the funeral parlor, which is this guy's home. And the guy answers, says, Fraser Funeral Home. And he says, do you have Alan Abel there? And they said, yes. Yes, it was a horrific skiing accident. It's just amazing, and it's sad. He went 50 feet into the air, crashed into a tree, came down, and what's amazing about it, his skis formed the sign of the cross. And everybody was coming over with their Polaroids and taking pictures. It's just amazing. And so the Times printed 7 inches in their obituary section on Sunday about Alan Abel, leading in with clothing naked animals. So there, all right? He got 7 inches.
Kimmel.
Alan was hysterical because Rogers, what was his name? The writer, songwriter. He
Roy?
Not Roy Rogers. I was going to say Roy Rogers.
Kenny?
But this guy won. Who?
Kenny Rogers?
No, not Kenny Rogers. He was a Broadway musical composer.
Rogers and Hammerstein?
Yeah, Rogers and Hammerstein.
Oh, shit.
That Roger died.
I think he meant Kenny Loggins.
That Roger died. And he only got 5. That Roger won an Emmy, an Oscar, Tony. He won it all. But Alan got 7 inches, and that was hysterical. Now, the problem is now that he's dead. And all these people are calling up his wife with condolences and sending flowers, sending fruit. And it's 3 days this is going on. And I'm talking to him, and we're trying to work something out where how he's going to expose that this is a hoax. He knew that he could not be dead forever. So what he wanted to do, and I fell for it, I went to the local hardware store and the costume place in Westport, the Wizard of Westport, and tried to find out how we could get a harness with wires to suspend them and get an angel's costume and put him in, hoist him on in a church and have him come in during the ceremonies for him. And we couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it. So what he does, he holds a press conference. The New York Times shows up, the obit guy, and Alan's saying it was a hoax. That's what I do for a living. I'm a prankster. This is what I do. And I got the New York Times. And everybody's looking at the guy from the Times. And so they kept on asking the Times, well, what do you think? What do you think? And the Times guy said, as far as we are concerned, Alan Abel is dead.
Nice. Fuck you.
So that was
it. Good for them.
But behind me is the disclaimer that it was a hoax that the Times printed. So it was, to me, it was the greatest hoax that he ever pulled, because he got the Times to print and he lived with it for 3 days that he was dead. He was astonished. The write-ups he got in all the newspapers and whatnot. Plus, when he died a year and a half ago, okay, it's almost over. A year and a half ago when he died.
Did I verbally do the eye roll? My bad.
He got 9 inches in the Times. He got more.
Stop
He got
saying
2
how
more
he
inches
inches,
after he
man. God, I
died.
don't like
And he
this.
doesn't know about it.
You got 7 to 9
who's
inches.
Who's the piece of shit in this one?
There you go.
Is it the New York Times? Is it Alan? Is it me for falling to go along with this? Who's the piece of shit?
Marty, go first.
You're the piece of shit in this, Frank, and it's really clear, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because that was his life's work, and you were his trusted friend and companion. And when he really died, it should have been on you 3 days later to call a press conference on his behalf and say that he actually still was alive and living in Utah somewhere up in the mountains.
Well, people don't believe he's dead still, like the Kaufman thing. There are people who don't believe he's lying. He's lying again.
Right. Well, that as it should be, because Frank could have made it so he lived on in infamy, and instead Frank just was like, "Yeah, he's dead. You just let the legend die."
And
Frank.
you could have done the angel thing. You snuck into the Super Bowl. You could have made him fly.
Right.
Yeah, fuck
He's
you.
big.
You could have hired Pat in blackface as the
That's
angel
right.
to come down.
I think I was
That would've
10
been
then,
fun.
but
Yeah.
I still was wearing blackface.
But seriously, when Alan did die, I didn't believe it because I saw him the week before, and he's always talking about doing hoaxes and whatnot.
We were going to have him on a
And
podcast, and he fucking died.
Yeah. And so what happened was that when I read about it, nobody called me. His wife didn't call me. His daughter didn't call me. So when I saw that, I went on a crusade to find out where where the body is and the funeral arrangements. There was no funeral arrangements. Nothing. There was no funeral parlor. I mean, I was calling up the town for the death certificate. For a week, I was doing this. Finally, his wife called me up. And they just were beside themselves. They just couldn't deal with it,
Like, this man keeps harassing everyone about his death. Frank,
so he went unnoticed. I mean, it's just.
What do they do with his body?
Oh, he died. I don't even know.
Well, let's
I
dig it up.
have it.
Let's dig it up and put it in an angel costume and have some more fun.
Yeah. Let's put pants on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that, Kimmel.
And he made it to 95, so I'm happy about that.
I graduated the year before. Andrew, who's a piece of shit?
I think Frank, for being as old as he is.
Oh, God.
He just come out.
Don't spit up what you can't take in your ass or whatever your mom said.
I think the asshole is Frank, simply for the line that.
No, a piece of shit, not asshole.
I'll get to that later, but I think you're an asshole.
Andrew's new show. You're an asshole.
Based off of a song that I heard a while ago. This line you had where you said it's like when he died when he was 95, you were like, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, I can't imagine being you and hearing one of my friends died now and being like, no, it can't be. It's like,
What?
it can't
so
be.
young.
It is. It always is.
Yeah.
I mean, no, the asshole here is the guy in Utah who answered the phone, and this whole thing hinged on him. And he really put the key into, launched the nuke here. He was like, yeah, this is the fucking funeral home.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows you what you could do, before the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do all this stuff and there was no way to prove it.
Yeah. Like, that was the best time for trafficking, right? I mean, no internet. You could just send anyone anywhere. It was great. Speaking of trafficking, Bobby, who's the piece of shit?
Frank, it's not you this week.
Thank God.
Frank, it is not you. I think the piece of shit's the New York Times. I don't think it's your responsibility to put the death out there that maybe he didn't fake it. That's the New York Times. You duped him. It's kind of their way of tipping their hat to go at the end of his real obituary. Now, Alan Abel has been known to fake his deaths in the past, so we can't confirm or something like that. I think if they had done that, then they show that they have a sense of humor and that you got him. I think it's the New York Times.
The piece of shits, plural, are the people that knew him that believe this. And who the fuck sends fruit when you die? I get fuck. You said fruit. What the fuck
Right.
fruit you send? If someone died, I don't want to get a melon.
Jewish people send fruit.
I don't think that's a thing, Frank. I think you
It
just have
is.
a new stereotype.
Now, when my grandfather or grandmother died, our relatives in Florida sent us oranges, and I
Were
was
they
like,
Jewish?
Right.
I was
oranges,
like, and I was like, what the? These are delicious. This is way better than flowers.
You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that does
Yeah.
make you feel good. Like, ooh, a peach.
Yeah. I'm telling you, a nice orange. You're just all right. Grandma's dead.
Crying, getting the perfect amount of vitamin C. Oh, it's nice.
Yep.
That,
like
I
how
would
you're
only
like-
do that if that person died of scurvy. And then I would send people citrus to go, I hope it doesn't happen to you. But no,
You dug
also
deep.
the people that believe that they knew him, not the film, that would believe this right away. They should have been saying so. New York Times, whatever. It's no bitch. If they wrote an article on his life and did a whole thing in the front, not the 7-inch we wrote, I get it's an obituary in New York Times. But if they wrote a whole article on it and then wouldn't like say, we got tricked, that's one thing. But they're just filling their obituary. Maybe they're like, it was a slow week for deaths. We got to fill some inches. We didn't get a lot of people die. Like now they're probably killing it with COVID. It's probably like just everyone's getting half an inch. Like you're just filling it up every day. But back then they wanted to fill it up. So they found a name that someone knew and they put it. I get that. And they're not going to retract it because it's the obit guy. He's not a good writer. He writes the obits. He doesn't even make his own fucking shit up. He just waits for someone to die. All his job is, I'm hoping hope a lot of deaths happen so I can get some work done. He wants to take a week off. He hopes no one dies. So yeah, fuck that.
I can't imagine trying to make it up the obit ladder and like starting out in the local newspaper or like doing your local veterinarian flyer. Like, what is the open mic of an obit writer? How do you start?
Gonna die soon. Like that one where they write, it's like on death's
One of my
door.
favorite obits.
He's hanging out. He was at the time following around Dr. Kevorkian, just like, oh yeah, this is killer. This is the best. This guy just lets me know. He's like those cats that used to go to old senior citizen homes, and they would find a dead person and stand on him, and then they would die right after. Like that's what he follows that cat.
Yeah.
That's an unheralded profession, though, right? Like even if you're the top at that
Like the
profession,
best.
you're just like, you know who you got to get for this obit? Who? Fucking Charlie from the New York Times. That guy is a wizard. You know. It's
And
like
other obits are like the Ernest Hemingway of obituaries.
the Woodward and Bernstein of obits, right?
The Woodward and Ernstein, he would be.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am now officially a hack. I was there for a while. Yeah, that's a weird. You don't do that on purpose. That's when a comic ends up doing some like comedy writing and does well with it, but he's like, I wanted to be a stand-up comic, but I didn't have the delivery, so I fell into this. I don't think anyone's dream is to write the obituaries
At all.
No.
No, that'd be a weird. But if they're like real good at it, like he made them sound better than they really were. Like he's that good.
Like you got to be a real messed up person. That's what you're like dealing with death every day like that. Like you got to be a real messed up person.
And
man.
more messed up than working in a funeral home or a morgue, because like at least that one you're actually doing a service. This doesn't have to be done. We don't have to put out the dead news. Like people can die. You can share. Like I don't need to read that someone I didn't know died. I mean, it's there. It's nice, and for some people it's good. But you don't need the dead news. It's not a needed job.
No. It doesn't need to be done well. You know what I mean? That should be a half-ass job.
The guy who really sucks is the guy who sells ads for the obit page. It's like,
Worst job ever.
it's like seriously, like if you only want to spend $50 and you want to get in on a Sunday, you got to take the obits page. That's what you do. Frank, we got to do this for you. Are there? I haven't read a paper. I mean, I read it online, but I haven't read a paper. You would think it's nothing but ads trying to get something in there. I wouldn't. Or I guess no one's advertising, so I guess it's just a lot of obits. But who's reading that?
Old people.
Old, right?
Old
people.
people.
That see,
Old
like,
people
who died.
read it.
Who do I know?
Yeah.
It's like catching up. It's their Facebook.
Yeah, my obit's going to say, Frank Regallo from the POS, Pat Oates, piece of shit podcast.
Are you going to write it yourself and just explain it 8 fucking times?
There's going to be so many commas in your obituary.
On the tombstone, it just says, spit up what you want to swallow, whatever your mom said to you.
Just says his age 9 times throughout the obituary.
102, 102, 102. Sam's there giving the eulogy.
Sam's going to get it.
Bobby, you got something?
Yeah. So, like, I'm guessing most of us have been intimate with somebody And like usually the biggest fear. Well, I've
No,
seen you
no.
bake a lot, Marty, so I was guessing. You were the one I wasn't certain about.
Okay, yeah.
You're a little too good at it, if you know what I'm saying. But the biggest fear going in usually is you want to last long enough. This is a story of
Like
the
the
opposite.
obituaries.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to outlast other people. But sometimes when you take the right antidepressants, you're there and you face the opposite problem. So I was with a girl, and this was like our fourth time, and this was the fourth time I had the incident where I just couldn't ejaculate, and it always led to a big fight. And so I did what I thought would be the right move, which was fake an orgasm. As a male, we've all been there, right? You know, a couple of asshole clenches, and you make oh yeah, all right, we're good. Afterwards, she was like, "Hey, I think you might have a problem." Because nothing came out. And I was like, yeah, no, sometimes that just happens, and like was hoping we wouldn't talk about it. But she went so far as to like make a doctor's appointment for me and thought for a while I had prostate cancer. So I had to go to the doctor and be like, there's not a problem here. And the doctor's like, what do you mean? And be like,
Prove it.
yeah,
No,
I'm on antidepressants. I just can't come. I don't have any kind of cancer. We're not doing any kind of checks or anything. And then going home and being like, yeah, they said they don't know what happens. Sometimes that just happens. And so who's the piece of shit? Is it me for faking an orgasm? Because again, it was more out of like, I care about you. I don't want you to feel like you can't satisfy me. Is it her for like going behind my back and setting up a doctor's appointment? Or is it the doctor for just taking my word for the fact that I didn't have prostate cancer?
Andrew, go first.
Definitely the doctor. That is fucking ridiculous. Dude, are you kidding me? That is like, imagine calling the police, like, because your husband is fucking you up in the bedroom, like just beating your fucking ass. And then they come and then he answers the door and is like, oh yeah, no, we're fine. Thanks, officer. And they're like, okay, got, see ya. Like, definitely, shove a finger in there or something. But no, I would say it's the doctor, because relationships are complicated. I don't know exactly what you guys were fighting about or what you were trying to avoid by telling her you came when you didn't. But like, that doctor definitely broke a very black and white code. And I don't know your circumstances, but I don't even need to know what he was going through that day, because he definitely fucked up on his job hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, we all forget that there's bad people at all jobs. And he's an open mic doctor. That guy sucks.
He's gonna be writing obits.
Marty,
I'm going a dark horse contender that wasn't even offered as an option by Bobby. I'm going the asshole in the story is the person that worked for the pharmaceutical company that green lighted a medication that makes it so that you can't climax, which is literally probably the reason that you wouldn't be depressed. They're just guaranteeing more fucking business.
Right.
If there's not a better example of pharmaceutical, big pharma jamming it down your throat with never a cure but always a treatment, that is it. Single-handedly, instead of prescribing an antidepressant, the doctor should literally say, look, here's what you need to do. You need to get off 4 times a day. Do that for a couple weeks. See how you feel. Most people would probably be like, you know what? I don't know if I need the Lexapro, But to give it to you and make it so you can't finish, that's fucked up. Also, your chick's an asshole, and I'll tell you why. Because she knows goddamn well that she's faked a whole bunch of orgasms, as every other girl has. And if you don't believe me, just break up with her and do it contentiously, and she'll tell you all of the ones she faked. Right? So, I mean, to act like it's that out of the, please, I don't know.
You know what? I do kind of get. Okay, you're making this pill. You're trying different versions of it. The side effects are getting weird. You're worried, but it's not working. Finally, they find one that helps with depression. But they're like, but they can't come. It's like, look at the people we've tested. No one's fucking these people. Because whoever's showing up and who is the guinea pig for those pills is probably the worst guy. And he's like, no one will be nice. You'll last so long that the girl will be like, this is amazing. And you'll be happy that you're a dynamo. So maybe they left it in because of that.
No, you know what the scam is, Pat? And I swear to God, tell me if I'm wrong, Bobby, because my buddy has this. He got prescribed like Lexapro or something like that, and then they prescribed him Viagra on top of that. So he's taking them like they found a way to get you to double shoot.
Yeah.
It's literally like the people who brought you Jack Daniels being like, look, I'm gonna also prescribe you need some Coca-Cola with this, and they own Coca-Cola. Like they
See, I didn't even think about that. They're like,
yeah,
dude, this too.
Yeah,
I would grind my teeth on it, and the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, we'll just prescribe you a minor sedative so you stop grinding your teeth." And I was like, "You know what? We're just gonna call this all quits."
Right.
None of this.
You give somebody the ability to not come but be hard, and you're gonna need the obituary person for that lady. You're gonna kill that bitch.
And dude, honestly, there are people that need antidepressants that have clinical depression, sure, whatever. But there's also like a thing where we've forgotten. Sometimes you just need to be fucking sad. Sometimes that's part of life. You know what? And by the way, if your dick doesn't work because you're sad, maybe don't fucking take a pill to make you dick. Maybe try to be happy.
Or maybe you don't like pussy. Maybe.
Well, yeah. Or maybe you need a new girl.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a new girl. Maybe that girl's just haggard and you need a new girl. I don't know.
Yeah, she sounded mean.
You know, she had her moments.
I got soft just hearing about her making the doctor's appointment.
I'm a little hard, but that's just
you,
Frank.
It's first you got to look at it that there's nothing, Bobby. This is for you.
Stop looking down
There's
at him.
nothing a matter with crying and coming at the same time.
What are we doing?
Okay, there's nothing the matter with that.
I'm really excited to see how this is applicable to the story.
At the same time, there's nothing. I've done it for years. There's nothing the matter with that.
It's nature's lube.
As my mother said, you spit up, it comes down on you. There's nothing the matter with a lot of cum coming down in your eyes. Okay? I'm blaming you. You're the piece of shit on this story because you were taking a pill to mask a problem. Okay? The problem wasn't that bad. But you made it bad because you compounded it by you couldn't come. So you're depressed and you can't come. What the fuck is next?
I do like how Frank's advice.
Boiling water? I don't get it.
I like how Frank's advice and my dad are the same. Get over it, you pansy. You don't need a pill for happiness.
Right.
I mean,
You on your period? That's what the problem is.
I mean, most of the time I cry and come at the same time. So
Stop saying that. You don't come anymore. You can't come anymore. It's got to be dust. How are you coming?
Well, I've heard.
All right. I've heard I was crying.
My generation fought a war. And you guys just want to be sad all the time.
That's right.
Bobby, you're the piece of shit, but not for Frank's weird crying cum reason. Oh, I'm Bobby, and I was getting laid, and I want to let everybody know I have sex sometime. Fuck your story, all right? Your story was, I used to fuck a girl, and I just couldn't come because I was too busy just hammering her for hours. And she was just like, I wish you'd come so we could do more things together instead of just make me fucking wet all the time with your dick. So I had to go to the doctor, and even he wanted to see me naked. Fuck you for bragging about all your sexual escapades. Some of us are lonely during this COVID, all right? Fuck off. By the way.
Let me correct you there, Pat. Nobody wants to see me naked.
Well,
I don't even like seeing me naked.
Maybe not now, but maybe if you were covered in Silk City hot sauce. Ladies and gentlemen, it's, it's our sponsor.
Oh, that's the worst plug I've ever heard. I'm out.
You might say that, but she might still be there. You were covered in some wonderful Silk City hot sauce. There's a company that's not afraid of cancel culture. It's made in small batches with pure ingredients, locally grown peppers, are the foundation of every bottle of Silk City hot sauce. Frank, they should call one called Come in Tears. That'd be a great one. It would be like a milky flavor, be nicer. They have like mild to wild. I can't do the hot stuff, but they got some good mild stuff like that. And they sponsor a lot of the fun shows. They sponsor one of Aaron Berg's shows. So they have a sauce called Badass Jew, which I don't know if you're going to get that in the retail shelves, but you'll probably get it in an attic. Ladies and gentlemen,
And it's delicious.
It's like, oh, is it good? I'm waiting for my samples. They're coming in. So did you tried it?
Yeah, the Badass Stew is my favorite.
Everyone says that's the best one. It's 4 peppers, tomato, and garlic. They've got tons of different flavors. They got one called Slurp, which Frank sounds like what you were doing when you were crying and coming. It blends fresh peaches, bananas, apple cider, and honey with a habanero and cherry pepper blend. They've got a bunch of different. They have like a killer hot. They've got like a ghost whisperer, which I can't handle that shit. I'm not trying anything hot like that. But if you want to check out any of these things, you go over to silkcityhotsauce.com, put the promo code in POS. You save 15% off. They're very supportive of comedy. They're awesome. They also send you a free bottle of cherry sriracha just for ordering. And they also give you they do these awesome artwork for all the different shows and for their own stuff. And they'll send you stickers of that. Support people that are going to support people having fun. These guys support a lot of different comedians, a lot of different musicians and artists. They're up in Vermont. They're making their own stuff. It's all locally grown. And they like, if they like something and they enjoy it, they provide sponsorship for it like us. They don't care that Frank's going to have a cum flavor. Maybe we'll call it Frank's Crank. That's a good sauce.
Okay.
That'd be a good one there. I want to make one. I've been pitching this that I want like a Mexican sauce for art. If we get a name on it and call it POSA. I think that's a good name for it. I think that fits well. But we could have maybe Bobby's I just can't stop fucking you sauce. That'd be a fun one.
Where you keep hitting the bottle and nothing comes out.
You got to bring it to the doctor.
Yeah.
All right. That was actually, Bobby knows, the most seamless of the ads so far this week.
Yeah.
This week I did on the other show, the artist formerly known as Podophiles. We had to change the name because people were just like, I like it. I can't tell people I watch a show called Podophiles. So we had to change the name. But anyway, so Brandon Smith, who's on that show, was just like the whole time, like, you got to connect them with me because they're going to want to sponsor me because I'm going to be big soon. And I'm like, what? Like, they don't even know who you are. What do you say? Well, I'm from the future. I know what you're saying, but you need some hot sauce or something. Maybe Bobby, you got to fuck him so he gets happier. Can you do that? Can you go fuck my friend?
Where's Silk City?
They're out of Vermont. I don't know what city that is.
That's what I thought.
I don't think it's Rutland. I've been to Rutland. That's where that guy's from. I'm the captain now.
No, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I think it might be Brattleboro. That's what I was asking.
Could be. I don't know. If you go to silkcityhotsauce.com, they might tell you where they are. Frank thinks Silk City's in India, but
Well, that's because when he grew up, they thought India and America were both the new world. Where all spices come from.
Because their women wore silk over their faces, the way it should be. That's what they did. All right, let's get our final fucking story in here. And pulling it up right now. And this is a fun one. The U.S. Marshals locate wanted man inside a wall of Detroit home. And of course, now my internet's taking forever. Boom. A Detroit man on the run since 2018 is back in custody. Willie Wright was wanted by the U.S. Marshals and captured Wednesday on Detroit's east side. The case started to go cold until a tip came in that marshals of Willie White's location. The marshal went to where he was hiding and found him hiding in the wall. He was just terrorizing the city of Detroit, the U.S. Marshal Deputy Aaron Gardetta said. Let's get the good part. Garcia said Wright would rob prominent businesses in downtown Detroit. In 2017, Wright was caught and sentenced to 7 to 20 years in prison. That's when he took off. In 2018, Wright was featured in Detroit's Most Wanted. Later that year, Wright was caught and arrested in Indiana, but an error with paperwork during extradition led to an accidental release. The county jail in Indiana and the county jail in Michigan, I'm not sure which one fucked it up, but there was administration error and he was eventually released. Wright would stay low for 2 years and the case would get a little cold. But someone tipped off a U.S. Marshal that Wright was back in Detroit on the east side, and that's where they moved in. We saw him enter in a house, which is a known house where people hide and family members kind of knew the house there. But when they searched, they couldn't find him until they found him in the wall. And when they caught him, all he said was, "You guys got me." That was his quote. After running away from the police for 2 years, extradition, all that, he just went, "You got me," and then walked right out and went to jail. Who is the piece of shit in this story? No, I mean, it's Willie Wright, first of all. I mean, I could give you other things. It's a man who's terrorizing. First of all, to be terrorizing Detroit means you're doing something. Even their water is terrorizing them. I mean, it's if you're terrorizing the worst thing ever, if you live in Connecticut, that'd be like, I'm the meanest guy at Bridgeport. It's like, holy shit. Like, you're like Hitler's cousin. It's like, I'm worse than him. Like, wow. But like, you're ruining Detroit. That's fine. You're doing that. But is it him for all the terrible things he's done? I don't think it's him for that line. That's perfect. If I did all that fucked up shit, you want to go out with a smile. Instead of like being the crazy guy on cops getting tackled, you got me. That's fun. You know what I mean? I can see right there why he gets away with things, why he's able to hide low. He's probably charming. Now, I don't like any man who's in his 50s who calls himself Willie and not William. Grow up. But anyway, it's just always me. At that point, is it him? Is it the two jails that could fucked it up and didn't extradite him? Is it the marshals for finding him in the wall? And I would have let him go. When he said that, I would have laughed and went, Willie, and it's just like, to turn the other cheek. Or make up your own. Frank, who's the piece of shit?
Contractor that put the plaster on the wall. I mean, he did a shitty job.
Frank, it's like a crack house in Detroit.
Well, I would have to say, then I would have to say he's the piece of shit. Not for what he said, but for what he did to get into trouble.
Contractor's like, whew, I thought Frank was going to tear me apart. Look at slow.
Yeah, it was him. I mean, who else could it be? The cops are doing their job, right? I mean, that's what they're paid for. That's what they do. They did their job. He got caught. He gave himself up. But what caused him to give himself up? Why was he hiding for 2 years? Because he was a piece of shit. That's why.
Maybe he was misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Well, Bobby, give him some of your drugs.
That is the most old man approach to fucking medication for mental illness I've ever heard in my life.
Well, what do you want from me? I'm 80 years old. I mean, what the hell do you want?
You take shit to stay alive. Give me your drugs. Bobby.
Piece of shit's the clerk who fucked up the paperwork.
Yeah.
Like, the cops did what they're supposed to do. They caught him. He did what he's supposed to do. He ran away. Like, if somebody screwed up my paperwork and I knew it, I'd be like, all right, I got a few days to get a good hiding spot. And the wall's not a bad one. And like, even the Germans are like, if you break out of prison, they don't add any sentence to, or any time to your sentence. They're like, yeah, we get it. Prison's rough. Like, if you're in prison, you get the chance to run. I blame the clerk. You have one job: keep prisoners in prison.
The Germans didn't always handle prisons well, just so you know.
Yeah, they've changed.
they stepped it up.
Yeah.
In Auschwitz, you never heard, you got me. Like, you never heard that saying. Marty?
I don't want to, because I love him, but I'm going to have to go far left on this one and say the piece of shit in this story is Frank. Now, hear me out. Frank just blamed the guy who plastered the walls. Frank, you old bastard. No one's used plaster on a house in 120 years. People drywall shit now, dummy. All right? You couldn't find a plaster contractor anywhere.
The guy who used the mud and sticks is the fucking asshole.
So Frank's really the asshole. And then the other thing I'm going to go with you, I feel like it's kind of the cops who arrested him, because when you catch him and he comes out, he goes, you got me. You kind of should be like, you should treat it like you're playing hide and seek, like when you're a kid, like tag. Like, all right, cool. All right, we're going to turn around. We're going to put our eyes over there to the wall. We're going to count to 30. We're going to let you go again, see if you can get away again. You know, like, you should make it somewhat fun, you know? But,
yeah, that would have been fun. If he just instead of, the line was good. I guess he had a little time in the wall, but not a lot. I'm sure he's thought about this. If he tagged them and went, "You're it," and then ran away, I wonder if one of them hid.
I would have.
I would have hid.
Great.
He's not going to get out. Have some fun.
Time out. How do you play hide and seek?
Oh, I turned into tag. I don't know. First of all, I haven't played in a while. Sorry.
Let me teach you a little something about how to play hide and seek.
Yeah, Frank. I like the deep cuts. He was so good. We're gonna debunk her on my next bunk you show. She's not real. So. But how do you? When you're caught, you don't tag, right? You're just caught.
Yeah, they tag you.
Yeah.
There's some variation.
I don't know if I ever played as a kid. I know my kids played it, and I played it with my sisters, like joking around the house. But I mean, I don't think I competitive. We played baseball. We had things.
It's really insensitive, Andrew, that you would bring up Anne Frank when you know full well that was Frank's first girlfriend, and they broke up because he couldn't finish.
I'm so sorry.
Actually, her last name was different until Frank was done with her. She's like, "You take my name, bitch. Now you're Anne Frank."
Right. She couldn't remember his name. The Nazis are coming. She's just like, Frank. It's Frank.
Yeah.
Frank what? Margallo? No, it's Frank.
In the book she wrote, and then Frank took my sad pills. That's when they found me. Oh, that'd be the best ending to that book. You got me. And
You got it.
Oh, he was hiding in the wall.
The whole time.
The whole time she's just in the wall.
Yeah.
They're hitting it with a stick to stop her from running around. Andrew, go ahead.
I think the asshole is whoever
It's
wrote
the piece of shit. Stop doing that. It's not.
Sorry, I'm so. I
Whole
don't
name
know.
of the show.
I have early onset dementia here. I'm gonna have to split.
Take your
Frank's
pills.
Frank, you got any tips for him?
Take your stupid pills, you sissy.
I would say that the piece of shit is the guy who wrote the article, or lady, but I assume knowing how to write, it was a guy. The guy who
White
wrote
male, get it right.
the guy who wrote the article you were reading, and for the first like 2 paragraphs, that Alan Campbell, it could have come out of anywhere between like the 1700s to 1950, where it's like Willie Wright was hiding in a wall in East Detroit. He was terrorizing the city, robbing the downtown alleyway. It's like, I just heard that whole thing and I was picturing like a marshal took him down.
Now, the only thing I changed from the article, by the way, is because they led in the headline with the line, "You guys got me." And I'm like, well, that's the punchline. So I had to put that. I didn't want to say it up front and then just give the regular story. I wanted you guys to think that, like, oh, God, he killed people when he got out of jail, and think it was going to go sad when it wasn't, to go that route. So that was the only thing I changed. And at one point, I think I said fucking, and that was not in the article.
So he fucking hit in the wall?
Yeah, he ran. And he was like, oh, fuck this. I'm done.
Yeah.
But you write fucking in an article in the Detroit Times, and you are never going to make obituary writer for the New York Times. It's never going to happen. Your career.
First of all, you want to talk about a busy person? The guy who writes the obituaries for the Detroit News.
Yeah.
Piece of shit is Detroit, because we're reading this now. They don't even know who Willie Wright is. Willie Wright ain't That's something you do. That was a good writer, because he's like terrorizing. Seriously, everything that guy. He didn't kill anyone. No, yeah, it's wrong to be stealing a bunch of shit. He wasn't a good guy. He made bad choices, all that stuff. Obviously, if he was a really horrible person, he'd be in that house with guns ready to kill cops, and terrible things would have happened. He was a moron who made bad mistakes and ended up hiding in a wall. That is a spineless, stupid. I mean, that guy is not a good planner. I'm guessing he used to work for other people, and then they all died or something, and he was alone. He was probably the scapegoat. And he's like, oh, fuck, they keep having me be the driver. What do? I'll hide in the wall. The cops don't know how to look at a wall. You're in a wall made of plaster from the 30s. You're in there. I'm shocked he wasn't had a lampshade in his head. He's just like, I'm a lamp. And just stand. You got me. I'm all lit up. Get it? Hey, guys. It's Detroit. It's Detroit for having such a shitty fucking town and water that's brown, like the stuff coming out of Sam's ass, that you have to live there and you have to live dumb crime. Step it up, Detroit. Make cars again. What happened to you when you used to make things like good cars and Kid Rocks and M&Ms? When you used to do that, not Kiss. Fuck Kiss. Fuck you. If you like Kiss, there's something wrong with you. Right, Frank? I don't even know who Kiss is. The piece of shit is Detroit in this story. Detroit, not like, what's the town you said in Vermont?
Oh, I found it out. I Googled it while we were talking. It's Rockingham, Vermont, apparently.
Rockingham, Vermont, the greatest town of all times.
Yeah.
And if Willie had some hot sauce with him, he could have handed over and said, here you go. Here's some slurp, and they would have let him go.
I was going to say, man, you got to feel bad for Willie, because if you're going to go into a life of crime as a robber or a burglar, like, why would you pick Detroit? Like, you're not a bright guy, bro. No one has anything for you to steal. You know what I mean? Get out of there. Move to Rockport.
Go somewhere nice and
or
easy.
whatever.
Yeah. Go to somewhere in Idaho.
Yeah. Go somewhere where people have shit. Like, period.
Yeah.
At all.
What do you take? Who noticed?
Right.
Who noticed you stole a thing in Detroit?
You're gonna rob a store. They're gonna be like, here's $38. You're gonna be like, what else do you have? We're in Detroit, dude.
We just thought you were the repo guy. We haven't paid our bills. We thought you were taking things.
Exactly.
I wonder if his situation was so bad that they thought he was hiding in a wall, but he was just like, I live here.
This is my room. Rent is tough.
Yeah. $20 a week.
Yeah.
Be in the wall. Yeah. I actually moved up. The other guy moved out. I used to only get the crawl space. I get the wall now.
What are you talking about? This place?
Was that a black voice? That's the best.
That's my Jimmy Kimmel voice.
Oh, yes. There you go. Look at this. All these callbacks are great. Andrew, Marty, thank you so much for being on. Andrew, where can people follow you? All that stuff.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Andrew Man Thing, and that's it.
Marty?
You can follow me on all that shit: Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all that crap. Instagram would be great. I need Instagram followers, and it's just.
And you got a great Instagram. I'm gonna tell you, I enjoy your Instagram.
Thanks, man. It's a combination of food, dogs, and the occasional comedy. And,
and a little bit of motivation, which I appreciate.
I try to.
I know it comes from a real place. You've been through some shit. We all have been, and it's not sappy stuff. It's good stuff that people can take, and you get some laughs too.
Yeah, so it's Marty, M-A-R-T-Y, and then my last name's Caproni, which is Cap like a baseball cap, Roni like rice-a-roni. That's how you remember it.
You really got that down.
I got it down.
You did it.
I've done it for years.
Your mom taught you something when you were 7. Frank got his mom's lesson a little differently.
Yeah.
You spit on your hand and you jerk off like a man.
You spit in your follower's face and that, what?
I don't even think Frank knows what it was. Frank, you got
no, if you spit up, it comes down on you.
Stop coming. Now, what? What's you have things now?
I got things going on. Okay, Facebook, Twitter, at Frank Behavior, Instagram at Frank Behavior. You go on, what is the one that?
Don't do this. Just tell them about your shows.
Oh, great. We're back at Comics and Mohegan Sun. We got 6 shows
lifted,
booked
so
for the next couple of months. The next one is next Thursday, which will be March 4th. And we're looking forward to it, Pat and I, to get back on the road again.
Yes.
And come on out and get some laughs.
Can you be around people all the whole time now? Because you got the 2.
Yeah,
you got the vaccine.
I got my second vaccine. The 14th day was yesterday. I am set.
Nice.
I could go back.
Did Sam get vaccinated?
Not his second one.
They shouldn't be putting needles in that man.
Next week. Next week he gets the second one.
How did they give it to him? They just rub it on his. What? I'm not trying to be a dick, but what a waste. Like.
What?
He's 102. Why are we giving him medicine? He did it. What are we hoping for? 103?
Oh, you're so cold.
I'm not cold, Frank.
You're cold.
He outlived
You're
COVID. That was the plan, to kill him off. That's why it's there.
We're not trying to be insensitive, Frank, but we already established he has no bones. So it's like giving a shot of vaccine into a bag of cottage cheese at this point. Like it's
stare at his asshole every day. You don't want to fucking keel over.
Oh man. I want to know it's a healthy, non-viral asshole. That's all.
I bet you're into like a kaleidoscope. You're in deep.
I didn't know that's how you knew assholes were healthy, by looking at shit.
I feel like that's a line that Frank uses on hookers right now during the pandemic.
Let me see asshole. I'm doing research.
I like to think that was Alan's last prank. Was to teach Frank to look at shit.
You look at a 26-year-old hooker's asshole, you're like, this is going to sound weird to you, but you got the same asshole as a 102-year-old man. Now bend over. Now spit in your hand and rub it twice. Whatever the fuck the saying is. Bobby?
The East of That Dave show every Tuesday at 7:30. And then come out to the Comedians of the Compound show. I'll be out there.
Guys, support Silk City Hot Sauce. They're awesome, wonderful. Go to silkcityhotsauce.com. Go in the promo code POS. You get a free bottle of cherry sriracha. You get whatever you have to get there, stickers and stuff like that, and it helps support the show. We do appreciate it. Like and subscribe and all that stuff to the YouTube channel and everything there. I'll be on the shows with Frank. I have a show tomorrow, but it's sold out, so you can't fucking go. But it's sold out in COVID times. That means nothing. Like 8 people came in.
Right.
There are like 8 different tables, but whatever. I just got announced the show. In Coscob, me, Aaron Berg, Kevin Dombrowski, Natalie Cuomo, I think someone else. I think, Frank, they might try to see if they can get you on it, but it's a different booker. The guy who was on it switched to this.
Okay.
He doesn't like you. He heard about your spit thing. But that's just going on the March 13th in Coscob. I have a bunch of dates. Just follow me on social media there. Thank you guys. Once again, Marty and Andrew, you were awesome. Thank you so much for being on. And Bobby.
Thanks for having us.
Remember, don't be a piece of shit.